G'day everyone and welcome to this week's Life on the Hulls. And as the sun goes down on a perfect Queensland afternoon, I mean today feels like we have arrived in some warm weather, stunning scenery, and we are just settling right into this cruising lifestyle. I'm actually so chilled I really don't know how to get out of my own road, but lots going on, and we're going to take you back to where we were in Port Stephens down on the central coast of New South Wales, where we started getting into some jobs and having a great time. But we're pretty happy, and it's really nice to be up here on the Queensland coast and soaking up the sun. I mean, look at this, what an absolute paradise. Shopping at Spotlight. Oh my god, this is like merchandising hell.
It is. It's literally like pick a needle.
How'd you go? We've been to Spotlight and we've basically loaded up on stuff to make our new clears after watching a YouTube channel last night.
You carry on.
Would you like to bring down the rest for me? Luckily we were able to borrow John and Tracy's car, and John's away, so I was happy to use it and drink his beer. I had a beer out of his fridge, and John owns Stormtrooper just behind us here. Beautiful Fusion 40 built by Jamie Morris up on the Gold Coast. And car here we have our brand new to us cafe blinds that we're going to turn into our clears. We've decided we can actually use this very effectively to make our clears, so we've used their car and we're loaded up now with material for our clears. So Janet's going to get busy. Well, we're on the move, and it's nice to be on the move. Just getting away from Salamander Bay. We had 3 nights there, and it was pretty terrible bloody position for us because it was northwest, it wasn't westerly. Turned westerly this morning, which was quite nice. Just sort of calmed down a bit, but none of us had much sleep. There's been some pretty wild winds over the last couple of nights, and the yacht in front of us, Monique and Justin, didn't get much sleep either, and we were anchored very close. As we were pulling the anchor up, we missed them by about 20 metres, so thank God for that they'd put their anchor down in the right spot. Bloody unreal. When you come into anchor, you just got to be careful where you put it, because we were blowing around like anybody's business on that night when we first arrived. The wind was just everywhere. So Janet's up here on the helm. She's driving us over to Fame Cove, which once the wind turns to the southwest will give us a little bit more shelter. Sun's out, windy as, still very, very windy, and yeah, very pleasant but chilly. It's only about 12-13 degrees at the moment, and we're feeling it because the wind is coming right off the tablelands behind, and I believe they got a bit of snow up in Armidale last night, so that would create a very chilly wind. But yeah, this is a beautiful spot, this Salamander Bay. This is Soldiers Point up ahead of us, and the boat's ready to move, aren't we? We're ready to move. 3 nights in one spot was a bit too much for us.
Well, it was a bit blowy and a bit rocky.
Very rocky and very slappy. Slappy sleep, we're calling it, because it was not comfortable. I got, actually I say 2 hours, I probably slept for about 8, but I felt like I got about 2. It was a bloody nightmare. I was awake all night worrying about it. The wind was insane. It's still insane. So I've just moved over from Soldiers Point or Salamander Bay in Port Stephens over to Fame Cove. This is an absolute cracker of a spot. The trip over was pretty ordinary. We had 30 to 35 knot westerlies and some big wind chop in sort of short period, probably about 1 second period. And we got wet. The whole boat is drenched on the front, and we had to turn around in that, and then coming into Fame Cove here, there's another cat over here, not really sure what her name is. She's got her AIS on, but I don't like to spy. And the best thing is, after 4 days of being in that stinking westerly, and we were sort of anchored a little bit too far out where we were, where in the shelter on a beautiful mooring and out of the wind, and the wind's supposed to come from sort of this direction over the next day or so, so we're pretty happy about that. While I'm here, we've come up with a bit of an idea, and I'm not going to take full credit for it because there's a couple on YouTube, and I'll put a link to their video on making clears. Janet has made an amazing clear for the side of the boat here, but it was only ever going to be temporary, and I need a clear around the Helm Station. It's pretty obvious after, especially this afternoon, we got pretty drenched, both of us, just with waves coming up over the bow and over the side of the boat and coming in. So we want to put clears on similar to the Lagoon 380 behind us. So Janet's temporary clear here has actually become a permanent feature. We're stoked with it. That's absolutely brilliant. But we saw a video the other night on how to make some economical clears, and owning a boat, you're always looking for the most economical option, particularly if you've got the ability to get to the place where you can buy it from. And we've basically decided to do our Helm Station, because it's a relatively straightforward square or rectangular roof, to do our own clears. And one nice way to do that, as it's shown in the video that we watched, and I think the guys in Queensland that did it on their lagoon, or might have even been a leopard, they used cafe blinds. And the thing is though, you can't just sort of drape a cafe blind because it has a lot of wood and stuff in it, but what you do is you lay them on their side, and that gives you the ability to be able to zip them on and off. And these cafe blinds, well, believe it or not, are the perfect length, and we actually get 2 out of each one, because you turn it on its side and cut it up the middle, and we end up with a clear that's going to do our Helm Station roof, and the ability to be able to unzip it and zip it back on whenever we need it. So that relies on a few things. So we went shopping the other day with Tracy, took us over to Spotlight, who had the better ones, we think, in stock. There is another brand around, but we're pretty happy with these ones. And I've since cut this 1.5 metre wide one in half down the centre. I had to remove all the aluminium and the aluminium track that was in it as well, and then I had to buy the sail track. Now typically you'd buy the plastic one. We didn't have access to it. This is sort of an anodised aluminium one anyway, as are our windows, so I don't anticipate any issues. You're probably better off with plastic ones. And this track actually takes the bolt cloth on the side of these clears, and we've been able to sort of measure it up, and I just think it's such a great solution. Not only was it economical, I mean, under $300 to do an entire Helm Station, which is just unbelievable, but it's cut out about 95% of the sewing for Janet. Well, that was what I sold Janet on, the idea of it being 95% less. I think there's probably still going to be a bit of sewing, but nowhere near as much as if she had to recreate this one, because this was a lot of work, this one, believe it or not, all the different angles and everything. And we may even revisit this one now we have this new method. In fact, I think we probably will. But $300 for a clear that goes around our helm is just a bargain compared to what a sailmaker or a trimmer would probably charge us. Yeah, it's a bit of a make-do, but I think it's going to look fantastic. Someone's working away in here. What did you say?
I said I haven't put my bill in yet. It might not be
What
cheap.
bill?
The bill for signing.
Slave labour is free, especially on this boat. We have never counted our labour in the cost of this boat, and if we did, whoa, it'd be quite frightening, the amount of hours that we've put into this. I would reckon upwards of 20 to 25,000 hours into this boat, and we're still going. But anyway, so what I've done today is I've cut that clear in half, and I've cut these to length. In fact, the long ones we didn't need to. They were the perfect length. They're 2.1 metres, and then the smaller ones are for the ends, the forward and the aft end of it, and I'm going to mount them up. I'm going to run a bead of Sikaflex along the centre of it, and then just screw it straight into the roof, and put about 5 screws in each so it'll hold the weight. There's not going to be a lot of weight, and then we'll work on how we're going to finish them. We have to then cut those clears to the right size and shape, and then Janet will have to get the sewing machine out, get the old sail right knockoff out, and sew a hem on the bottom of it, and then we're also going to have some way of securing it down to the deck, and that'll include some saddles and some webbing and Fastex buckles. We'll also be able to roll these up, which is a nice feature. And that's why it just hit me that what a fantastic idea, and I'll give them full credit, whoever came up with that idea, and I still can't think of the name of them, but I'll put that as a link to the video if you want to go and have a look at theirs as well. Very important that they get the credit for this because it's such a cracker of an idea. Right, and then these are just going up under here, and they're the perfect length. Perfect size. Wider section on the outside to make it easier to feed the bolt cloth in, or the bolt rope. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've done 3 sides now, which is fantastic. It's such an easy installation. Because I can only use very small screws because it's only 10mm thick. And that's it, it's in. I'll probably put a couple more screws in later on, but I'll get the other one at the front done, and then it's all up to Janet to finish the job.
Oh, you do the easy bit.
How good's that? Hey, someone's got to have the concept. That's done.
Cocky.
That's as solid as a rock now. Put a couple more screws in later on.
Okay.
So, get the sewing machine out tomorrow. I'm going to get it out in the morning, 6 a.m.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
6 a.m. No, we might start at 5 then.
So now I know it's not going to happen, because when does Ross get up at 6 a.m?
Yeah, well, I went to sleep at 6 a.m. this morning. I was worried about us on anchor last night. It was a shocker. We just had a police boat come around looking for a yacht, and he said, make sure you got your man overboard and your PLBs and your EPIRBs and stuff on board. And I said, yeah, we've got them all, but we haven't got personal EPIRBs. We have got man overboard EPIRBs, which if we're out to sea, that's pretty relevant. But we've got PLBs and EPIRBs on board. Okay, so all the tracks are now mounted. I've got them all mounted all the way around. You've got to leave a gap, obviously, to be able to slide the bolt rope in. But we can slide this in. The only thing I noticed this morning, because they're cheap cafe blinds, is that these are metal, and they're probably going to have to be replaced with some sort of a plastic YKK sort of repairable zip puller. But this is bloody exciting. This is very exciting because what it means is that will stay there forever, and we can just simply unzip the clear. Not that you ever will, but the clear will just hang down to here, and we'll secure it, and that can stay in there, and it's really out of the way. Now the thing we can do is roll them up and hide them on. Well, they won't hide, but they'll certainly be rollable, which is fantastic, isn't it? The front one, I had to separate it into 2 because it's not straight, it's actually a curve. So I've done one here and one here. So I've done it in 2 pieces going across there to the centre, and there's not much of a bend in it, so I'm hoping by the time that we get the drop down of the little the zipper skirt, then that'll deal with the crease that we might get in the front here. But the other thing we'll do on the bottom here when we hem it, we'll actually lift it up and over all the lines. And yeah, it's just such a great solution, isn't it?
Really good solution.
I'm totally stoked. It's something that's just been on our mind, and now that it's getting into winter, and we're heading north to Queensland, but we're getting wet. And the other day when I came up from Pittwater, I was bloody freezing sitting in here. It's a cold Helm Station, but amazing in summer. And I feel for the guys that have got those big open, like the big sort of hard top type cockpits, Helm Stations, because they must get so cold and so wet.
Yeah.
And definitely worth enclosing it or having some sort of enclosure option.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I won't be beanies and 5 jackets like I was the other morning. That was bloody cold. Not sure you ever get over the excitement of a sunset. And now that we can see the sun, because it's been pretty wild and windy the last few days with a lot of cloud cover. But look at this, Fame Cove, just a stunner. And I've got the engines on. I just need to put them on to get a little bit of hot water because we didn't quite run for long enough today. We're over here in Fame Cove in Port Stephens, and we're sitting here and the water's pretty murky and muddy, and we're sitting here and all of a sudden, massive pot of dolphin come around us. It's such a beautiful morning. The wind is dying. Thank God. It was howling yesterday. How good is this? Oh, look at that, Janet. This is getting any more lucky than that. And I want you to eat all the barnacles off the hull. Oh, there's one there. They're everywhere. There's a baby over the other side here. Fantastic. See, chasing fish into the bay. That one's got a round dorsal, that one over there. Looks like it's been hit by a propeller or something. We're back at it. The Clears. We both woke up. We're a little bit edgy because we've been sort of, well, we're in a beautiful anchorage. We may as well get some jobs done rather than sit around and enjoy ourselves. So I've set about on our clears, and Janet's got the material out. The cheap clear idea requires a bit of modification, and although I said I reckon I could do without, Janet could miss out on around about 90% of the sewing required. Not really sure that's going to happen, Don. I think there's going to be a bit of work to be done.
Yeah, I know that it's done. It was never going to be that simple.
So you were going to go for an inch hem on either side of the clears. And I've got them out here. I've just cut one down, and that's just such a wind. This one here has been cut down, so that ended up being about, probably about a third of the width. This is the other half. One $80 clear is going to do half of our Helm Station. That is just a huge win. That would have cost hundreds and hundreds, and just a fraction of the cost of what it would have cost us to have them made, or in fact buy the rolls and then have to fabricate the whole thing. This way the zip's already incorporated, the clear is already 0.75 mil, which is thick enough for our purposes, and all we have to do then is Janet just has to hem it and put on the sewing, some buckles on it to be able to roll it up, and obviously to be able to secure it down. And I'm fitting it up in here, and we've got the bolt rope with the other half of the zip on the front here, and then it has a gap obviously so we can feed the other one in, and then this one here. So this will stay permanent, and then we'll be able to just unzip these clears quite quickly rather than rolling them up. Sometimes it might just be nice just to be able to unzip them and put them away, and they fold up nice and neatly. So yeah, what an absolute win.
I think that's the answer.
So Janet just came up with a great idea, and that is to wrap the excess rather than cut it off and hem it. Wrap it around the corner of the Helm Station, because this is where all the weather's coming from. So all the weather actually comes this way when you're going forward with the apparent wind. You tend to cop it here, and if we can tie this guy back to here, it might be all that we need for quite a long time. To be honest, when it's blowing, and because we're on anchor all the time now, not on a double-ended mooring, any wind that's coming in is obviously coming in through the front. So if we get this and the back done, this should remain relatively dry unless we get a big storm come through. So clever.
But because we've put the rail in for the big piece,
Yep.
it's a little bit too high.
Yeah, it's a different height.
But what I suggested to Ross is that we just put a short piece of the rail just below for this to fit into.
Yeah, just along the bottom, underneath
to
it,
keep the zip straight.
just to bring it to this edge here.
Yeah. And I think that'll work. And
that
then,
will work.
we might get rid of it later, but I think...
I'll tell you a little piece, it'd be good actually to keep it nice and straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll actually get onto that, because that way when I cut this to fit, it'll fit.
Cut it. Hey, that's great.
So while Janet's preparing the hemming of our cafe blinds, I'm actually working hard on out here. You've got to prepare them first. So they come with aluminium tube in them, which is a bit of a waste sadly, because it's going to get recycled or discarded as soon as we get here. But you have to drill out the rivet, and that's quite simple. There's 4 rivets, there's 2 on each side, and then you have to bend this part off to be able to slide the whole thing out, and then you're left with that, I guess you'd call it a brattice or some sort of a tarp hem on one end, and we don't want to destroy that because we want to try and reuse that as much as possible. And so once this is drilled out, this bar's removed, then you roll it over, do the other ends exactly the same, but it has an aluminium piece of RHS, like a 50mm by 25mm RHS section in it, and that gets recycled as well. So this is the aluminium that's actually inside the top, and then on the bottom, because it needs the weight to bring it down. Other models have wood in them, but at least this will be recycled. I guess wood can be burnt or thrown in the bin, and with no really ill effects. But anyway, so I'll get the drill out these rivets, and then we'll be able to slide the whole thing out, and then I can prepare the whole unit for another couple of clears, which would be nice.
So I got this double-sided tape from a sailmaker before we left home, and what you do is, because you can't tack like you would when you're sewing with big stitches, because going over the same stuff twice could cause the whole vinyl to run with the stitches too close, and it's too thick to do hand basting anyway. This holds it in place while you stitch it. So you put this in, you see it, everyone uses it, and then you stick that down and then you can stitch. And so it just holds it in place because it's just a bit of a big beast to actually handle. Canvas has a memory. Yeah, it makes it so easy to, so much easier, not easy, but easier to sew it.
Oh, go away.
No, this man used to play guitar all the time, and once building a boat he stopped playing guitar, and it's so lovely to see him pick up a guitar again, even if it's making his fingers hurt. Because he hasn't got the calluses he used to have.
Well, I've got an epoxy allergy too that's worn out my fingers.
Anyway, it was so lovely to hear you play.
I'm playing 5 minutes a day.
It's brilliant. I'm so happy to hear it.
The speed of it, does it go any slower?
You jinx it every time you say that.
Jesus. It's like you've done half of it in 5 seconds. Wow, that was like speed sewing. Is that how it's supposed to go?
It's supposed to go a lot slower, but they did say on 240
Yeah.
it would go a lot faster.
240 volts is a very quick little machine. So this is a cutout around our rain gutters. This is where it gets a bit more challenging, isn't it?
I don't think I'm doing a very good job of it.
I think it's fine. It's brilliant. You guys might think I'm a bit of a slave driver, but it's important to keep Janet busy and keep her doing things that, let the creative urges come right out. But occasionally she just goes, I've had enough. And she walks out and she said, I just need to sit on the top of the boat or get some exercise. Now we're in an area where we can't get off the boat, so it's a bit of a problem today. So she's been stuck sewing all morning, and this is a stop work meeting. Isn't it? Yeah. Take this.
Why do I need this for? I wanted some peace. Not a camera and a mic. I wanted some peace.
Look at this.
Some time to myself.
How could you possibly complain?
I'm not complaining.
Back in the sweatshop. Get in there now. This back one's now ready for some tabs. We've got to work out how we're going to strap it down, but have a look how complicated this is. Janet's had to sew up over the top of this and get the shape of it to fit. But yeah, she's looking really good. It just needs to be tethered down with some Fastex buckles, and this clear project is almost done, but it's not done yet. So get in there and get going. Yeah, well, at least you're on a boat.
Yeah, but I'm inside it, sorry.
You're on a boat. Stop whinging. You're in a beautiful place. Get to work. This is what it's all about. This is such a magic spot, this Foam Cove in Nelson Bay. It's been pretty popular over the weekend, but it hasn't been overly busy. I'm surprised. It's a long weekend, and we had some pretty wild weather leading up to it, so probably indicates to me that people are choosing to do other things other than boating. It's not warm though. It's not overly hot. It's about 18 degrees, and the wind chill's still got a little bit of a bite. But yeah, back to work. So I'm down here in the stern cabin on the starboard side, wiring. This is my wiring kit, and I'm trying to wire up some lights. Place is an absolute bombs hit it, because I've had to secret the wires for these light fittings down through some of the other fittings that I've already got, and then down out of the wall here. And now I've got to work out how to get this wire here back up through the kitchen cupboards and up into this area here. So I'm desperate to have some decent lighting here. We've been relying on these little USB chargeable LED lights, and they've been good till now, and since I did the bedroom, it's just gold. Our saloon is fully wired now, all the lights are working. The forward cabin, the lights are working. But this one here, I'm always looking for a drill bit or something under a shitty little USB light, and it's just not good enough. So it looks like the lights that you can see above me should be working in about half an hour, and then I'm going to be pretty happy about that. I'll be able to walk in, flick a light switch on, be able to find without swearing, and that'll cut down the swearing a little bit, Janet. Yeah, she said yeah.
I said he complains about it, and then I tell him what the solution is, and then he gets upset about that. What are you doing?
You think I'm the slave driver here. The slave driver's actually standing right there.
I'm not the one who's...
Every time I go, where's a bloody light? She goes, well, maybe if you had lights, it'd be okay. We wouldn't have to worry about it. And I just go, oh, for God's sake, I'm getting there. I am getting there.
Okay, final stage is we're going to stitch on the buckles. Russ is being very passionate and involved, and he literally, the machine went, 2 stitches, and he, is it stitching all right?
I like to get involved, and
it's killing him that he's not doing it.
I saw the sewing machine working. We came and said, "Is that okay? Is that okay?" I like to know if things are going to work. There's nothing worse than things that don't work properly. Anyway, doing an amazing job, Janet. This is just...
I've done 3 stitches.
3 stitches is an amazing job. Tell you what, I'm watching everything you do, and I still don't think I'll be able to use that bloody machine.
It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Doing the job.
But I don't want to jinx it by saying it's good and then...
Oh, it's good. Just get on with it. Stitch the bloody thing, will you? Look at that. Good job it's got a wide gate on it, isn't it?
Sorry? This?
Get on with
it's actually small.
Yeah,
that's
is it?
why
Yeah.
why it's a boat. One for boats.
It's bloody heavy enough. I can use it as an anchor.
Yeah, well, if you give me any more jobs, I might use it.
You're not throwing that out. This is your new business when we get home. Making clears and sales. Paranoid about the power. I was checking. It uses about 100 watts. It's like nothing, this sewing machine, because he's not running it all day long, but it's just bloody fantastic on power. So it's so good to have on board. In fact, we had a visitor from Dave over here from the Braidwood bunch, and he came over the other day, or came over yesterday. He said, my wife would love a sewing machine on board. And I said, well, buy one and then you'll get your clears done. So we're just having a look now how we're going to integrate this big side one, because it's very complicated around winches and windows and hatches and things, but I think we're pretty much getting there. So this big part here, this is 2.4 by 2.4, so I've had to cut off a fair bit of it, which will sit on this edge here down the side here, and then we're anticipating having a door that goes up across the top and down that can be rolled up so that we've got full access to the winches and everything. So that door would basically go up here and back down, so you can still traffic in and out of here. and integrate with the ones that Janet's making inside. So yeah, that's actually looking fantastic. I'm really stoked. This is such an incredibly cheap. That's like $140 blind that is almost ready made without a, you know, just absolutely spot on. I've cut off a lot, and I've cut that really big one down just to make sure that I can get rid of it off the boat, because it's just excess. I'm going to cut the zips off it, cut all the aluminium out of it, and then we're basically ready to fabricate whatever we need to do with the bits and pieces. And the other thing I noticed too, if this is in place and we've left the boat for any period of time, this will wear on the PVC. So we'll put in potentially sew in an abrasion pad underneath that, or something, a chafe pad, just to protect it. But yeah, wow, what a difference, eh? It's just amazing what you can do with $140. Well, we're up to about, I think the whole thing is $300 for the entire surround, and that is just fantastic. Mind you, it's a lot of work for Janet. Been a bit of work for me, but a lot of work for Janet doing tabbing and things. But this one's not going to be done right now. We're going to fold that up and put it away, because it can be stored a lot easier than it was. And all this excess stuff will get off the boat, and we'll be able to, well, we may even keep some of that. Ooh. Someone's looking pretty happy with herself, because Janet's clears are full-on pro job. I'm very excited.
I don't know about pro, but they're...
No, they are so good, darling. I'm so happy with them. They're brilliant.
I'm pleased.
Well, you bloody should be, because that was, what, $250 and a bit of effort? I'm pretty happy with that.
3 days of effort.
3 days of effort, yeah, but we're able to buy a water maker for what we saved.